I had pretty much decided when I was 12 that I was marrying Chauncy.
I knew that Kelli was the one. Kelli is just a person of integrity. She's the type of person that you can always count on, you can always trust. Hi. Good. One of the things that I love about skiing with my family is the time on the lift, because it's time that's undistracted.
We always kind of had this quote, families that play together stay together. Every run is a new challenge for myself. I think that having such a core thing that we both loved to do, and then learning to do it together and being there for each other to do it together, it definitely, I think, helped with how strong our foundation is with our marriage. So we had Elise, our first.
Elise was always looking out for her younger siblings.
Are you getting tired, reindeer?
She was very self-confident, very determined, and wanted to try everything.
She just absolutely loved being outside with us.
I'll help. Hey, just come over.
She was able to ski just about any run at any mountain that we took her to.
You can do it.
So Christmas Eve, I can remember feeling just that happy inside, just that joy that I was up there with my family.
Got all of our gear ready and skied a little bit on the bunny slope, and then Kelli and I split up and I took Elise skiing with me. And she had wanted to take one of the more difficult runs, and I told her, wait and go show Mom how well you're doing.
Good job. Show me how you can stop.
I remember starting that run with her.
Keep coming, good girl.
She was following me and she went over and got tangled up or something and her ski came off. So I hiked back up to help her get her ski back on. That's the last thing I remember.
The snowboarder was going so fast and probably did not see the girls in time to be able to turn or avoid them. The next thing that I heard was that three skiers were down and only one had a pulse. Another boy that was skiing came up and had brought me a helmet, and it was the helmet that Elise was wearing. The framework was broken out. And it hit me at that point that I didn't think I was going to see my daughter alive again. I was guided down to another room where Kelli was at, and she was just hooked up to all these machines. She was hooked up to a respirator. Kelli took a lot of the hit. She was thrown and her head hit the ground. Later on, the doctors had determined that it was actually that the majority of her traumatic brain injury was from hitting the snow and then her brain actually coming and hitting the other side of her skull. Her C1 vertebrae was fractured. From the bit of research that I was able to do, I knew that I needed to get her to Craig.
This was a profound injury. When she first came to Craig, she didn't have any day-to-day recall.
She would ask, where are the kids? And he would say, well, we're just focused on getting you better right now. And they didn't want to have to tell her more than once.
She still didn't quite grasp exactly what was going on, and this is exactly what the neuropsychologist was telling me, was that all of her emotions and everything probably aren't going to be there all at once.
I remember that day because it was one where she was to a point in her recovery that she had day-to-day recall, and she was informed about the death of her daughter.
My brain had not gotten the message to my heart at that point. The only place I wanted to go outside of my room was to see Dr. Berry so that he could explain to me what had happened to me, what was going on. Because it really, literally just hit all the grief and everything, and I didn't understand why I couldn't cry.
It was an unimaginable grief. And I think it was that, the depth of that tragedy that impacted the team, every one of us.
She was dealing with the loss of Ellie and the fact that she'd suffered a traumatic brain injury. She wasn't surrounded by her friends. It was Craig.
The environment, even though we were away from home, was, I think, as much like home as it could be. From the professional care to having the apartments on site to make it as much like a home atmosphere, and particularly in our case, for me to be able to take such good care of our children while I was caring for Kelli. I just couldn't have asked for a better situation. I was able to have Kelli's mom bring Millie and Logan up to the Sky Bridge, which was one of our favorite places at the hospital, was to sit and look. Millie, I think, was so excited to see her mom and didn't quite understand why mom wasn't so excited. But I did see Kelli light up at that time to see Millie. And again, her first question was, where's Elise at? So she wasn't still fully understanding what happened.
I had had 3 kids at that point. I think that was a huge component in my healing. I had those tangible people there loving me and supporting me and giving me a reason to recover.
They were not gonna stay down. They were both gonna get up, and that took a process.
You're doing great, babe, just focus.
Craig just set the foundation for my full recovery.
Kelli and Chauncy loved those people who helped them. And you don't love those people unless
They love you.
they loved you.
It was just phenomenal how quickly I started to see my wife again. This is Kelli walking with her physical therapist and with Millie. Kelli and I have never pointed fingers at each other. We've always been there to support each other.
Losing a child will either make or break a marriage. I decided that this was not going to break my marriage. So since the accident, we have had 2 more daughters. Now we technically have 5 kids.
We just recently moved from Casper, Wyoming to Thermopolis, Wyoming, which is a small town. We're currently, right now, living at the family ranch.
Slow feet. Quick feet.
You know, it's great for Kelli to be here because there's a lot less stimuli on her and everything else, but really the ranch is a wonderful place for me to continue to heal from some of the wounds that I carry from this event.
Do you still want to become a master librarian?
Kelli and I still take our kids skiing.
Still love to ski.
Currently, we're working with the National Ski Areas Association to put out a safety campaign in honor of Elise. Today is the first day that we've shown this video publicly.
We've just launched the Ride Another Day campaign for the National Ski Areas Association, working with Kelli and Chauncy Johnson.
We have a campaign that people will be hearing about more and more called Ride Another Day.
Ease up at blind spots, check uphill when merging onto trails, and give others plenty of room when passing.
This is truly an impactful story, and to have people come up to me, let alone the line of people that came up to Kelli and Chauncy afterwards, truly demonstrates to me that we're going the right direction with this.
Kelli is an amazing mom. Kelli just lives and breathes her children.
We always still talk about Elise, just trying to make her more real to them.
Everything that Kelli does is selfless for me and for her kids. Being my wife, I admire her and think she's the best mom in the world.
I like to be tough. I like to push myself.
You know, I couldn't live my life without Kelli. I just couldn't. I feel so blessed that I have her even now.